Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by the last. Look who it is. Shannon Courtenay, how are you, darling?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well, very well. This is big, isn't it? We've been told for years and years how big this fight was going to be. And they turned up at each other's fights. There was talk between the both of them. And we finally got it, and it's massive.
It's massive. It's nice to see people getting so hyped up, so excited. So many eyes are on this fight, and it's a women's fight. So it's amazing to see it. It's amazing to be part of it, even to get asked to come today. It's a big event, and I'm so excited. I'm tempted to fly out to New York for the weekend just to see it.
You're not the only one. But we've heard so much about this fight needed to happen for women's boxing. But let's be honest, you've been part of it as well with Matchroom and DAZN. This has been going on for a couple of years now. This isn't like the start of big women's boxing. Big women's boxing has been about for a while.
Women's boxing is massive now. There's not a show on. There's not a women's show on the card. So women's boxing. Listen, we're not on the same level yet, but we are very much getting there. And I feel like this. They're talking about this the second most pre-sales of a fight ever. That's huge. And the fact that it's women's boxing. Let's just stop saying women's boxing from now on. Let's just call it boxing, because the numbers that this is creating is just crazy.
What is it that we need to see? And I know everyone's kind of got sort of roughly the same answer, just big fights, but is there anything other than big fights that we need to see to keep elevating women's boxing?
Just continue to keep showing their character. I think what happened on the weekend with Serrano and Clarissa was fantastic, especially to see Serrano like that, because she's normally so quiet, and she was there in all her glory giving it, and I thought that was brilliant of her. So it's nice to see a bit of trash talk. When it's natural, when it's put on and it's fake, I think, oh, cringe. But no, it's nice to see, a bit of attitude, a bit of needle there, and you can tell they're playing it nice and they're being nice on stage. But there is needle between Katie and Serrano, 100%, and the closer it gets to the fight, the more needle's going to be there. Wouldn't it be great though if we just one day see Katie Taylor go, do you know what? Fuck you. I would love that.
I was about to say, I'm waiting for a day where Katie explodes, but I think she's just too cool of a character.
It will just never happen, but I'd love to see that.
I think this will be one of them fights as well, where if talking about the actual fight, as it edges closer, people sort of change what they think is going to happen, one of them sort of pick a fight. As you stand here right now, what's your sort of prediction?
Don't do this to me. Honestly, I feel bad saying this. I'm actually edging towards Serrano.
I don't think that is bad though, because you've got two such good fighters that it's not like it's not a dodgy pick, is it?
I just feel like, listen, on the night, if the actual Katie that we've seen in the past turns up, then my money's on Katie all day long. I just feel like her last few performances haven't been a Katie Taylor performance. And maybe it's because she hasn't been able to get up for the fight, I don't know. And Amanda looked really good against, was it Gutierrez she had last time? I think she done a better job on Gutierrez than Katie did. So, why is Jake Paul jumping up and down like a kid? I just think at the moment I'm leaning towards Serrano.
I want to have to quickly ask you before we talk about you and what's next about Jake Paul. He's such a massive sort of subplot in this fight. He's always going to be. You said he's jumping around like a kid. He's only 25. So I can't believe that someone has achieved what he's achieved at 25 is doing this. He's got his critics, but he is good for boxing, like it or not.
Like it or loathe it, he's bringing new eyes to the sport. He's played a vital role in getting this fight to happen. So you can only respect him for that. He's doing this fantastic thing for women's boxing. So I'm not of him as a boxer, but of him as a person and what he's doing for women's boxing. I'm a fan. Anyone that's going to help us elevate women's boxing, I'm all for it.
Right. What's next for you? Obviously, you had the defeat in Liverpool, and I know, we saw what you said on stage. You want to win your world title back, and you won it off Jamie Mitchell. Obviously, she fought at the weekend, so in a way, kind of glad she won. So if you're going to get your world title back, it's going to be revenge as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to just be Skelly for the world title, because then it's like I wanted to get my world title back off the person that I lost it to, because then it's like a redemption thing. I lost my world title. She beat me on the night. I actually thought I'd won. Then you watch it back and you're like, no, Shannon, you didn't win. But what people don't realise is I had an ACL rupture. I couldn't use my leg. I physically couldn't really move properly. The entire fight, forget that. The entire camp, I was in agony. I had to wear a brace the entire time. I was constantly popping paracetamol, ibuprofen, different medication just to sleep, because I was in absolute agony. But I had no choice. I had to fight. If I didn't, they were going to take the belt off me regardless. A lot going up to that fight wasn't right. The week going up to the fight wasn't right. there's no excuses. I lost the fight. Now I have 2 working legs. I do believe I'll stop Jamie Mitchell.
So, hearing what you said then, people say, why wasn't it, or why did you not pull out of the fight and try and reschedule it? The belt would have been lost. If you had not taken that fight, you would have lost the belt.
It was made very clear to me that if I didn't fight that night, I wouldn't be fighting for world title for a while. So I kind of had no choice. And the thing is, we'd already postponed that fight once already because I actually dislocated my knee and ruptured my ACL on July the 2nd in sparring, the day before my birthday, so I know it. And I was meant to fight, I think it was August 30th, and we had to postpone it because we were like, the leg is just horrendous. So then we took 2 weeks out, had some physio, thought I'd be okay, and then obviously we got the results through after because it was getting worse. I'd spar, my leg would just give way and I would just collapse. Then we had the MRI and they were like, you've got a clean cut rupture. Like, you shouldn't even be able to run, let alone sprint, let alone spar. Like, you should not be competing. But I was like, well, to be honest, I have no choice. So I have my physio. He was fantastic. He kept me just ticking over, kept wearing a leg brace. You know, my team, like Charlie and H and Adam, made sure I didn't do anything that I couldn't do. So they knew what I wasn't and wasn't allowed to do. And obviously we had to cut corners in camp. There wasn't things I was allowed to do. Couldn't really lift weights properly. Couldn't do anything that involved turning quickly because I can't go side to side of the leg. But listen, it is what it is. It's done now. I lost the fight because of my rupture. Rehab has gone fantastic. They reckon I'll be back in the gym full time in 6 weeks. Let's go.
Well, now, obviously, because of her victory, she's more well-known in England. She looked good at the weekend as well. It makes it a bigger fight as well.
It makes it a massive fight. Let's give her some credit. She looked fantastic on the weekend. I was sat there just nervous to watch the fight. If I'm honest, I've not been able to watch boxing because it's...
It hurts to watch boxing.
Yeah, I'm still hurting, if I'm honest. It's hard to watch it when I'm someone that trains twice a day. I have to run every day for mental health reasons. To not be able to do that has been horrendous. But I've been, the guy that I'm doing my physio with, my rehab, Glenn, said to me, I'm going to get you running next week. So I'm already so excited about that. So I thought, I'm going to watch boxing this weekend. And I had to watch it. I was texting Eddie on the way up to the fight. And then straight after, I was on the phone to him. I said, listen, I'm going to beat Mitchell when I'm back.
Right, well, when it happens, we look forward to it. Thank you very much for giving me your time, Shannon. Good to see you. And thank you.
Well done for graduating, by the way. A bit gutted you didn't turn up in a Feel of Velour tracksuit to get your thingy, but well done.
Thank you very much. Love you.